Hello, y'all. I am Diana Brienne, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, welcome. Camille BZ Diaries, welcome. Thank you, Renee, for coming again tonight. I appreciate you every night that you come. And Club Ino das Gurias, welcome, welcome. Hello, it's great to see you. Great to see you, my friend. Well, as you know, when we first start doing a live, it takes about a few minutes for people to come on. And so I am going to share out the stream and we'll kind of give people a few minutes to come on. And it's Friday night, and probably a lot of people are out and about tonight. So I don't know if many will show up or not. Sometimes, last night I looked at it, it was 240 when I got off of here. 240 people had showed up, and over the course of me being on. And other times, you'll get more, other times you get less. Sometimes because people have their own lives too. But I like to come on regardless because you just never know. You never know. So welcome, welcome. I'm going to share this out. So I have to go over here and share it out. So let me try to find my pages. And I have two YouTube pages. One is called Diana Brienne's Everyday Words of Wisdom, and Diana Brienne Fairchild's Everyday Words of Wisdom. And then I have a personal page under my name. And then I have let me just see here. Then I have, of course, the YouTube. So I'm going to share this out. Plus, there are a lot of people doing live streams tonight. So let me go ahead and share out. Let's see, live stream from Grandma's porch. Oops, porch. Not Portia. Not Portia. Diana Brienne. Let's see. Would you say jump on now? It's amazing. A lot of people don't understand how a live stream works. And so they'll sit there, rather than click the link, they'll sit there thinking that somehow it's going to open up. And most of the time it doesn't. You have to click on the link. So let me go to the next one. And we're going to do, let's see, live streaming, jump on now. Okay, that's good. People should know. And one more. Okay, let's see here. And let's see. Okay. And this is to the Everyday Words of Wisdom. Live stream, jump on. That's good enough. They should know what it is. Oh, I sent it to the wrong place. Okay, now I got to go resend it. Okay, let's see. Live stream. I just put live stream. And put that there, and put that there. Got it. Okay, I'm back. So it's Friday night, and all is quiet here in my house. And I've had kind of an exciting day, I have to tell you. First of all, I am coming from Grandma's porch. I'm not coming from my kitchen. Most of you that follow me during the daytime lives see me in my kitchen, or in my 5-minute videos, I'm in my kitchen. But this is Grandma's porch. And I come out here at night to just kind of be quiet, or I come out here to make my phone calls at night. And now I come out here to do my live streams at 10 o'clock. And most nights I come on at 10 o'clock. Maybe not every night, but most nights. And 10 o'clock works for me. I know that there's a ton of live streams on at the very same time. So I'm kind of competing, but I don't compete because I think if people want to come, they come. And if they don't, they don't. Like I always say, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm someone's glass of champagne. So, yeah, so I come on at 10 o'clock. This is Grandma's Porch. Welcome, welcome. Um, I think it's, oh, let me see. Let me get there we go. Undale, thank you, Un. Thank you. And I do try to come on, I try to come on here because, I like people to know that even if I just come on for a little bit, I'm coming on, I do come on pretty much every night. And I just put the link in if anybody wants to come up as we go on and shout out their channel. And welcome, ERB Fashion. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. And Jen Mickett Vlog, thank you so much for coming. Now, I am not a growth channel, but I am a shout out channel. And so how I kind of look at myself is I'm kind of a fried chicken channel. I'm a little bit of everything. And so what I do is I invite people to come up on the panel for a moment and shout out their channels. And that way people can see who you are and you can tell them who you are and what your channel is about. Okay. And so I'm not a growth channel where we drop links and do all that. Although when I have mods on here, they will drop your links for you. Okay. And I think Una's on here tonight. And I think Mr. Tita will come. Maybe Gina will come. Maybe Brenda. And they have the mod wrench and they can drop. But basically, I just say, hey, come on up. As long as you're not drinking and as long as you're respectful, come on up for a minute or two and shout out your channel and talk a little bit about what your channel is. And that's kind of how we do it, because I think that, sub for sub, although that can give you numbers, it doesn't give you friends. Friends come from getting to know a person. And so I like to go on people's live streams, even growth streams, to see who these people are. Who are my friends? Who are my friends? And so when you come up on the stream, people all of a sudden connect a person to that name. So you may see my name out there all the time, Diana Brienne Fairchild. But when you come to a live and you see me live, now you have a person there. You have a real person. And so welcome, El Salvador. Welcome, welcome, welcome to you. And so I like to come up here because I never know who's going to come up with me. Now, I've only really had one negative experience so far on a live, and that was where someone was not real nice. I think they thought they were being funny and they weren't. And I got rid of them, of course, got rid of them immediately. And I forgave them and I give them a second chance, but I would never let them come up with other people. They'd have to come up one-on-one with me, and that would be the only way that I would let them come back up. My channel is for everyone. It's an all-inclusive channel. The only thing that I stipulate is you have to be respectful, not just to me, but to everybody in the stream and anybody on the panel. And those who are on the panel have to be respectful. So that's the only rule that I have. But I'm in an all-inclusive channel. I don't care who you are. You're welcome to come up here for at least a few moments. Now, sometimes I do have people that stay up longer, but they're usually people that I know well or that I'm interviewing. But if it's just a shout out type of thing to come up and shout out your channel, usually it's a minute or two to get to know you a little bit. And hey, honey, my son's on here, Falcons fan. Hey, Falcons fan, I hope you had a good dinner out tonight. My son is visiting a friend for the weekend before college starts back up. He's in college too. And but he lives at home and his friend's going off to college. And so he said, Mom, I want to spend the weekend with my friend. So they went out to dinner tonight. And so he checks in on his mom. And I want him to grow his channel. He doesn't have any videos up yet. And so I told him, I said, probably Sunday or Monday, we're going to make a video. We're just going to drive around in the convertible and I'll get him driving and we'll just show the scenery so that he has his first video up. And then Mama will start to promote him, so that people will begin to friend him so that he can build his channel. And I will teach him how to do it and how to do it the right way because I want him to have a super channel because he's a super young man. So that's Falcons Fan, my son. And let me get my glasses back on here. And I'm doing good, honey. I'm doing good. And, it's amazing. My husband, I have to tell you about my day in a minute. Shall I? Yes, I would love that. I would love, love, love that if you would do that. Thank you. Is going to drop links here for everybody. Artfully Blind with Diana. Thank you so much. I got so many comments in the later about you. Great comments about you and Paul. Absolutely. Everybody loves you. Respect, you're absolutely amazing, Miss Diana. Hoping I can join your live stream in the future. Now I'm still working. ERB, you're very welcome to come up. I would love for you to shout out your channel. Yes, Una is on. Una is normally on. Una is a wonderful channel. She's a growth channel, but she's an inspirational channel as well. I don't really want to call her just a growth channel because when you get on Un's channel, Undel, if you're having a bad day, you're going to have a good day by the time you get off of her stream. She is absolutely amazing. She's warm, she's loving, she's friendly, and she does things the right way. And I love Un. There's people that I meet on here that I absolutely just instantly like, and she is one of them. She's one of them. So if you don't have Undel, you need to have Undel. If not for growth, for inspiration. She's wonderful. Okay. Sebastio, welcome, welcome. Well, let me tell you about my day. Last night it was about the ghost, and my son Marshall, who's Falcons fan, was not here last night. But my other son said we had a ghost in the house. Well, because I saw a shadow, so he had this ghost meter on his phone, and the ghost meter told him we had a ghost. Now, I don't know where in the world he got a ghost meter. So we had that last night. It kind of creeped me out a little bit to think that we had a ghost, but then he said the ghost left. So I determined that the ghost really wasn't a ghost, but it was an angel. Let me just close this door here. Let me just close this. And so tonight, basically what happened was my daughter's car, the battery, something happened to it and the battery died. So she parked it by her apartment, and so my husband went over to jumpstart it, but the battery caught on fire. So it didn't hurt anything. He hurried and got, stopped it. And so then we had to have it towed. So because I had the towing company, I had to go over and wait for the tow truck. So I went over and waited for the tow truck. So we had her car towed home and back here because she just lives right down the street from us. And this is her first apartment, first time living on her own. And so we brought the car over here. So we're going to get it fixed for her. And but so that's what happened today. That was kind of our big drama for the day, having the car towed over here. So it's sitting in the back of our driveway, and it's a fairly new car, but we think it's the alternator and maybe even the transmission. So we're really not sure. So then my husband, he went out and he bought us dinner, and so he got takeout food, and he brought home takeout food for us. So we sat down and we had some good takeout food because my one son is working, my other son is visiting his friend, and my daughter lives down the street. So, and she'd already eaten. So we just went ahead and it was nice. It was just my husband and I tonight having dinner. And then he went to bed because he has to golf in the morning. He plays in tournaments, and so he's got a golf tournament in the morning, and so he had to get his sleep. So now it's just me, just me. And so, um, yeah. Um, I think it's Kelly's Crochets Adventures. Welcome, welcome to you. Welcome. You know, Friday night is an odd night. There's a lot of people home on Saturday night, and so they're on YouTube. But Friday nights, there's a lot of live streams, but a lot of people are not home. And so, you know, you just never know if anybody's going to come on or if few people are going to come on or how that's going to be. But yeah, so my daughter tomorrow, we've got like a little special thing planned. We're going to have her come over early evening. So I don't know if I'm going to do a live or not. I may or I may not. It just depends. And we're going to watch a movie. We used to have family movie night every Saturday. It was, you know, we always did family movie night. And during the week, I always read them a bedtime story. Even when they became teenagers, we always did story, you know, more age, whatever age they were. Like when they were teenagers, we read A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, which was a very, very long book, but a wonderful, wonderful book. And if you have not read A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, it's an old book, and it's about turn of the century 1900s and a little girl named Francie. And I have to tell you, that book is my favorite all-time book and probably one of my favorite all-time movies. And you can get that movie on YouTube for free. It's called A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. It's an old black and white movie. Fantastic movie. The other movie that I like is called Tobacco Road, and it was made in the 1940s. And I like old movies. I don't like what's out there now. Very rarely do I find a movie that I really, really like. And so for me, we do old movies. But tomorrow night, we're renting the movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, #2. Years ago, we saw Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and we loved it. That's actually what got me to juicing. You know how I started juicing? I juice green juices. I drink green juices every day. And so they came out with Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead 2. And so we're going to watch that as my husband, it'll be my husband, me, and my daughter. And so she's coming over tomorrow. We have to go pick her up since her car's broken. And so we're going to do that, have family time. It's kind of nice, you know, when you can do things with each child individually as well as together. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah. So that's my weekend. So I may or may not be on, but I'll let y'all know. If I'm going to be on, I'll put it out at some point, even if it's, you know, last minute, that I'm going to come on tomorrow night. And so, yeah. And Renee, we can get the book on YouTube for free. No, the movie, Renee. They've got the movie on YouTube. Look it up. It's called A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, and it'll be the full movie. The full movie. It's free. And I don't even think there's any interruptions on it. And it is just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful movie. My favorite movie. And I first read A Tree Grows in Brooklyn when I was probably in ninth grade. I think it was 10th grade. Because we had book clubs back then where you actually ordered the book, and then like 2 weeks later you get, you know, your how many ever books you ordered at school. And I loved that. I was in the book club. And so that was called A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. And the movie is outstanding. Tobacco Road is kind of about a bunch of hillbillies. And it's a very, very, very good movie, very powerful movie in some ways. It's about people going to the poorhouse. And when I grew up, we called it the poorhouse. There was something called a poorhouse, and that's what we all called it. And if you were poor enough and you didn't have any money or place to live, you went to the poorhouse. And that was kind of what that movie was about. So they're very humbling movies. And I like movies with a great storyline and movies that have something that you think about when you get off the movie. I do not watch hardly anything nowadays. I don't watch TV, period. Miss J Channel, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. And Un Dell, who is my moderator, will drop your link, and you're very welcome to come up and shout out your channel. Kelly says the movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead is good. I didn't know there was a second one. I'm going to have to watch it. Yes. On Amazon Prime, I think it's $2.99, and I think it's $4.99 on YouTube. So we're going to, since we have Amazon Prime, we're going to watch that tomorrow night. I don't watch any movies, but my husband does, and so periodically I'll find something that I want to watch, and then we watch it. And I watched the vegan movie, the movie on eating vegan because I'm vegan, and it was okay. It was okay. It was, I can't remember even what the name of it was, but it was okay. You know, music, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming, music, my dear friend. Thank you. So, I don't watch television. I get my news from online, and I don't immerse myself in the news because there's so much negativity. I just stay informed. And with movies, we have a one movie house here. We actually have downtown, a little beautiful downtown, gorgeous, old fashioned downtown with an old fashioned movie theater that plays one movie at a time. And so I go there, but it's not open right now. And so they do play really good movies. I mean, those movies are quality movies. They're not the garbage movies like most of the theaters play. But when it comes time at home, I find old movies from, TV shows from the 50s. I love the 1950s shows. I like to watch, it's called Craft Theater, KRAF Theater. And they have the old movies on there, or it's an old TV show, but every week they would have a different story, and they were really good. And then there was I can't remember, there were so many good shows in the 50s and 60s, and then the 70s came along and threw all of that away, and they put a lot of garbage TV in the 70s. Now, there were good shows in the 70s, 80s, and even today, but they're far and few between. And for me, I don't want to sort through them. I don't want to waste my time. And so I just revert back to the old movies and old TV shows. And I love the Honeymooners. I grew up on the Honeymooners. Welcome, Pindot. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And so I grew up on Hee Haw and the Honeymooners, and we had rabbit ears. And I had these babysitters named Irene and Charles. And I was probably 6 years old. And my mother took me over there because she was going to nursing school. And she would drop me off. And Irene would watch me and make me a little poached egg in the morning. And I never really liked the poached eggs she made, but somehow now I miss them. But Irene wore big old grandma shoes and always wore a dress. She never wore pants. She always wore a dress, a grandma dress. And Irene and I used to dance around the kitchen. I was 6 years old. We would dance around the kitchen. She was in her 60s. And to Petula Clark's Downtown. Remember the song Downtown? Well, we would dance around. I remember that to her old radio. And I just loved it. You're right, Robert. I love the Honeymooners. It was such a great, great show. It really, really was. It was such a great, great show. And I love the Honeymooners. And what were some of the other shows in the 50s and 60s that were so good? My grandpa, he loved all the Westerns, so I would sit with Grandpa when I got bored sitting with Grandma. I never got bored sitting with Grandma, but, just kind of make a change. I'd go sit with Grandpa because he had rabbit ears, and they got good channels, too. They lived down in a hole. It was kind of like a little town of 10 houses by the railroad tracks, but it was kind of down in a gully. But he got good channels. I don't know how he got these channels. He got 2 channels. Let's say he got 2 good channels. We only got 1. And so he'd watch the Westerns. And I'd watch the Westerns with him. And I think it was High Chaparral, Bonanza, and a few others. I can't remember now. And so I have good memories, like with Irene and Charles. They would watch Hee Haw at night, and they would watch Hee Haw and the Honeymooners. They always watched the Honeymooners in reruns that came on at 11 o'clock at night. And I would lay there. They'd let me stay up as late as I wanted, and I would always fall asleep on the floor watching the Honeymooners. And they were an old couple, and he smoked stogie cigars and had chewed tobacco. And they would take me around in their old Rambler station wagon and pretend I was their child. And they sold Amway products. And so we would deliver Amway products when I was 6 years old. They had a little dog named Pee-wee, and they had this old green Rambler station wagon. And away Irene and Charles and little Pee-wee the dog and all the Amway products and me, we would go around delivering all these products. And they were like grandparents, and they were wonderful. And then Irene became senile. And so she really became senile. And Charles got sick. He got ALS, and he got myasthenia gravis, and he became very ill. So I began to step in at like 11 or 12 years old, taking care of them. So I started taking care of them. Charles eventually passed. Irene went to the state mental institution, and it broke my heart, absolutely broke my heart. But she was completely senile. She didn't know who anybody was. And back then, they had institutions. This is in the 60s. They had institutions. They didn't have nursing homes and things like that, at least not where we were at. So if you were old and your family couldn't take care of you, you ended up in the old folks' home. So you had the poorhouse and the old folks' home and the mental institution. And they called it the crazy farm back then. And that's what they called it. So you had these places. Thank goodness things have changed since then. And it's nothing like that now. But growing up, that's what it was like. If you were really poor, you knew you were going to the poorhouse, and or the reform school or something like that. They had all these names, that people don't call them that now. Different time, different era, And so, yeah. So, I come on here now, and anything I get, I usually come on, check the news, check my emails, come on YouTube. I don't do too much on Facebook. Sometimes I do. I sometimes I don't talk politics over here, but I do talk politics on my Facebook, and but I keep politics off of my channel. So it's because it is divisive, and so I don't bring it over here. And like I said, like they always say, don't mix politics and friendship, right? So how is everybody today? Welcome, Candid Heart. Welcome. Robert says he used to watch Hee Haw. And Shay Tabarino, and welcome. Thank you for being here. And yes, thank you. Would anyone like to come up and shout out their channel? I don't know how long I'm going to be on here tonight because it is kind of an odd Saturday night. And or Saturday, where am I at? I'm a day ahead. Friday night. And so, people are kind of more out and about. Tomorrow night they'll be home. So we'll see. But if you want to come up, I just dropped the stream, and you're very, very welcome to come up for a moment, shout out your channel. And I would love that. I love to meet new people. I love to meet new faces. I love to see the people behind the name. Y'all know me. I come on here whether I'm camera ready or not camera ready. Tonight I'm kind of somewhere in between, I think. So, but yeah, so I grew up with Irene and Charles, and I really, really miss them. They were wonderful babysitters. And my grandma and grandpa, they were such stable forces in my life. And I grew up with a lot of family friends that were like relatives. You know, they were more like relatives than friends. And even to this day, I have friends that are more like family. I don't consider them friends, I consider them family. And so, you know, that's kind of how I grew up. I grew up in a huge extended family, huge. And we all would gather at grandma's house. And grandma's house was a little tiny house out by a railroad track, only 10 houses in a country like town. That was kind of connected to a slightly bigger town, which wasn't big at all. It was a small town. And grandma had an outhouse and well water and coal stove and all of that. So that's how I grew up. And, you know, I grew up pretty simple and we learned to cook everything from scratch. And so my daughter today called me, she said, Mom, guess what I'm making? And I said, What are you making, Melissa? And she said, I'm making homemade noodles like you taught me. And I said, You are? So she said, I want to Google Duo you, which is like FaceTime. So she Google Duoed me and showed me the noodles that she was making. And she was dropping them into the boiling water to cook. And I was so proud of her for doing that. You know, and basically, you just take flour, eggs, and water and a little bit of salt. And you can do it a sticky dough or you can do it a more dry dough. And normally, like what she did today, and I do, is we do a dry dough. You roll it out, and then you slice it, and they're kind of like great big noodles. And then you drop it in hot boiling water. You got to be careful though with the hot boiling water, and um, then you pull them out after about 20 minutes, and they are awesome. Awesome, awesome. My mama taught me those, how to make those, because we grew up poor. I grew up poor, but we always had plenty to eat. And my mom knew how to stretch a dollar. And one of the other foods that I made when I first moved away at 17 and got my own apartment, and I only had $1 for a whole week. And so to eat on. So I went out and I bought grits and cornmeal and I mixed them together and I made what I call mush. And I, you know, made a very thick porridge, put it in a buttered pan, let it harden overnight, put it in the refrigerator. And then the next day I would slice it and fry it in a little bit of butter and pour corn syrup over it. And in that situation, I made homemade brown sugar syrup. And I ate that for a week. And so I know how to cook pork. And I can tell you, sometimes cooking pork tastes really, really good. Another dish I like to make is I like to make fried green tomatoes. I'm very big on fried green tomatoes. Jero, welcome. Jero Lopez Tivo. Welcome, welcome to you, Candid Heart. Yes, absolutely, Candid Heart. Would you like to come up and shout out your channel? Lynn's TV, welcome, welcome. Thank you. I'll put the link in again. Anyone can come up as long as you're not drinking and as long as you're respectful and shout out your channel. Um, uh, And so, yeah, so you can cook some really, really great foods that are simple, that are not complicated. Robert is right. Robert said, growing up poor gives you a new appreciation for things. And I have to tell you, um, to this day, and you know, you're going to think this sounds neurotic, and it probably is, but I wash and wax all of my cars once a week. And I am so particular about my cars. Welcome, Jaylyn, Cooking Las Vegas, USA. Welcome, welcome to you. And the reason I do that is because, well, all we had when I was little was a beat up $75 car that was old and rusted out, and half the time only ran in reverse. Literally, we had to drive the car in reverse down the road and pray that the cops, the police did not pick us up. And because it wouldn't go in a correct direction, it wouldn't go forward. And so we were poor. And so I take wonderful care of everything. Samira Kelly, hello, hello to you. Hello. And so I take wonderful care of everything that I have. Maybe to the point of being a little neurotic, like I like to shine my windows every week. I like shiny windows. But it all comes from, growing up poor, not having a whole lot. So I truly, truly appreciate everything that I have in my life. Growing up poor is not a bad thing. I think it made me the person I am today, and in part. And had we not grown up poor, I don't know if I'd be exactly like I am today with all the appreciation. I think today our society has so much of everything, especially the younger people, that a lot of people just don't appreciate anything. They don't appreciate anything. They take so much for granted. And it's a shame. It's a shame that people take everything for granted. And I think that that is sad, in my opinion. And growing up, we taught my kids right and wrong. We taught our kids that, you if you wanted something, you had to work for it. All three of my kids work. They've been workers, go to college. They're workers, and they're respectful. And, I remember it was kind of a relative's son. This is years ago. And we were riding along. We had a big motor home. So everybody kind of got together for a ride in the motor home. And for safety reasons, I told the one son, you need to sit down. And he said to me, "You're not my mother. You don't tell me what to do." I was so shocked. I was so shocked that that child would talk to me that way. And I thought the parents of that child had not taught them that you don't talk to older people disrespectfully. And I think today kids are not, a lot of them are not taught respect. And my kids were always taught respect. And back in my day, if you were not respectful, I don't even want to tell you what happened to you, back in my day. So you were respectful in my day. I was very respectful growing up. I never ever said one bad word to my mother or my grandmother, ever, ever, ever. I can never remember that. Never. I was always respectful, always respectful. The Trucker's Life, welcome to you. Welcome. Not there. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Samara, thank you. And yeah, I think being respectful is so important. And teaching our young people to be respectful to people older than them. Doesn't mean they have to agree with them. It just means that they need to be respectful. And my kids all to this day, and even though they're in their early 20s, anyone that's more than a couple years older than them, they use the title Mr. or Miss in front of their first name. So it'd be like Miss Diana or Mr. John. That's how they address people. And even I do if someone's significantly older than me. Not that there's that many people more older than me now, because I'm getting up there. But if there is, I address them with Mr. or Mrs., even if I call them by their first name, out of respect. It's kind of a Southern thing, and yet it's something that I do. Something that I do. So, yeah. Living your best life. I talk about everything today. I think I put up, what did I put up? I put up like 7 videos. Oh my gosh, I put up so many. My 5-minute videos. And I think one of them was, yesterday I talked about how to handle an insult. But yet today, I'm not even sure. But I had some really good ones up. So if you get a chance, go look at what I put up. It was, I remember. The one I put up last was called, "It's Better to Make a Friend Than an Enemy." If you make an enemy of someone, just to prove your point or whatever, you're going to have an enemy. You're going to have someone that's not going to talk nice about you behind your back. So if I'm going to leave a relationship or anything, I try to leave it on a good note. I try to leave it kindly, even if I'm going to leave it, because you're better off if you can leave on a good note in a relationship rather than a bad note. And so many people don't know that. They don't know that. Did another video called The Screw Up. People who will mess up your best laid plans. And we've all known them. People that will come in and they will, you can be doing everything right and they'll come in and mess it up, not purposefully, but they just mess it up. So I haven't put that video out yet. I'll put that out either tonight or tomorrow called Screw Ups, but I think I'm going to change the title and call it just people who mess up everything. That sounds a little bit better. And then I did one called Overly Politically Correct, how our society today is so overly politically correct that we're not communicating and we're not resolving issues because we don't talk about the real issue. We only talk the surface stuff. And unless you dig deep, you're not going to solve a problem. And to dig deep, people have to be honest about what they're feeling. Even if it's incorrect, then you can straighten them out or they can straighten you out. But if you're afraid to be honest because you're so politically correct and you want everything to look really pretty, then you're not going to solve problems and you're not going to reach your goals because you're not dealing with the issue. So I did that video today too. So, I do. Sometimes I'll do up to 20 videos a day. And I don't put them all up. I put them in the archive. And if I don't have time to do a video, and one day I'll put one from the archive up. But most of my videos are fresh out of the oven. They come pretty quick. I put them up pretty quick, unless I've got a lot of them. And then I put them in the archive for that day that I don't have time. Like when I start back to school next month, college at age 63, I won't always have time to do the amount of videos that I do right now. So I will have some in the archive that I can, with the subject matter, different subject matter that I can bring out. So, yeah. So would anyone like to come up and then I'm probably, if no one's going to come up tonight, I'm probably going to make this a short live. Way back when parents taught their kids respect, but nowadays kids have no respect for their parents. Oh, Robert, you are so right. You are so right. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. One thing, I expect respect because I give respect. And my kids show me respect. And Jaylene Cooking, Las Vegas, USA. Yes, indeed. You're exactly right, Miss Diana. Respect is absolutely right to do with elders and other people as well, because treating you with respect with others will also treat you back. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why on my live streams, if you come up here, you don't have to worry about being bullied by someone, because if someone is disrespectful, as soon as that first moment that I realize they're being disrespectful, they're off. They're gone. They're out. Okay. Whether it's in my home, whether it's on my YouTube channel, whether it's on my live stream, no matter what it is, if they're disrespectful, they're out. Now, I'm not talking about they have to agree with me. No one has to agree with me, and I don't have to agree with them. We're not talking about that. We're talking about if someone is putting someone down or diminishing them. And if when you disagree with someone, that's not diminishing someone, but it's in how you disagree with them that can diminish someone. And if someone does that in my channel, they're gone. They're gone because I don't have any patience. Like I said, I'm an everybody channel. Everybody's welcome here, but they've got to be respectful. That's why you see, pretty good people. I have excellent friends. I think tonight I have almost 7,700 friends that I've made over the last 5 to 6 months. And they're amazing. I have amazing people on this channel because it's a best life channel. It's like how to live your best life. I don't give advice. I don't give suggestions. I just show you and inspire. I inspire people to find their own best life. That's it. That's it. And so my channel is about that. So the people that come here, minus the trolls, because I get trolls and they like to, troll around. But even the trolls, I have kind of boring trolls for the most part. Boring trolls. I sing them a lullaby and then they go to sleep. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't think I'm going to have any guests tonight. I don't think anybody wants to come up here and talk to me tonight. It's kind of an odd night tonight, Friday night. And like I said, I think a lot of people are out and there's a lot of lives going on tonight, live streams. So, um, plus people are worn out from the week. And I think they're kind of winding down. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, everybody, if no one wants to come up with me tonight, I think I'm going to make this a short one. And I'm just going to go. I've already had my bubble bath. And I'm going to go have a little something to eat. And I think I will kind of just relax a little bit, maybe read a little bit, sit out here a little bit, whatever. And so I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful night. And I like Crucis Vlogs. Welcome. And Peter Deli. Hello. Good to see you again. Thank you, Peter. And thank you, Crucis. Does anyone have anything special that they're going to do tonight? Or are they just going to kind of kick back and go to bed early or go to bed late? Or do y'all watch the late shows? Or what do you do? I don't watch TV, so I don't watch any of that. I used to years ago, but not anymore. I don't like what's on TV. And I think it's a lot of garbage. So I just don't watch it. I don't know who the current movie stars are. I don't know who anybody is. I'm still back with country music with Loretta Lynn and Dolly Parton and Tammy Wynette. I'm lost in time. I'm outdated. I'm really lost in time. 1950s and 60s TV shows. I like old radio music. I surround myself with all my beautiful antiques. I love antiques. And so, yeah. So, anyhow, I thank you all for coming on to my short-lived live tonight. And Un, thank you so much. Un Jiao, I shout out to Un Jiao. Un Jiao is so amazing. Geneva, thank you. Sweetie, enjoy the rest of your evening. You're right about television these days. Welcome and thank you, Geneva Blake. I guess it's Jacko. My husband's name is Jack. So, his name is Jack. So I'll just say Jacko. I hope I'm right. Or Jacko. So I hope to come on tomorrow night. And likely I will because I like to be consistent. And 10 o'clock is good for me. 10 o'clock is really good for me, Eastern Standard Time. So be looking, drop by, say hi. You can stay 5 minutes. You can stay the whole time. We all have, I'm going to crochet a dish scrubby. Wow, Kelly's crochet. That sounds really good. You'll have to come up tomorrow night and show it to us if you would like. If I come on tomorrow night, or I should be here. If I'm not, I'll be on Sunday night. Just come on up and show it to us. We'll have a crocheting night. Okay, you can teach us how to crochet. Well, thank you all. And Artfully Blind with Diana says, I'm lost in time too. I don't know the current actors. I don't know the current actors. My last current actor that I remember is Julia Roberts and Sandra Bullock. I mean, that's as current as I get. I don't get any more current than that. Smyrna, thank you for coming. Thank you, Samira. And thank you, Peter. And thank you, Kelly. And thank you, everybody. So I'm going to go. I did a short live. Last night I was on 2 hours, and tonight only 50 minutes. So much love to all of you. I hope you all have a great night. May God bless you. And so from my house to your house, may God bless you. And I hope to talk to you soon again. Good night.